55.
This is WB17 News at 10.
Utter devastation, and it took only a couple of minutes. Deadly tornadoes ripped through communities in Georgia and North Carolina, leaving shattered buildings and shattered lives. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Yates. Steve Highsmith has the night off. They never had a chance. 14 people dead in Hall County, Georgia. The tornado was quick and devastating, giving officials no warning of what was about to happen. It struck just before dawn, 50 miles north of Atlanta. The twister cut a swath 10 miles long and a half-mile wide. Dozens of homes, farms, and schools were severely damaged or destroyed.
And then all the trees came crashing down on our house. We lost power. Of course, I couldn't tell how much damage until it got daylight. Thought my time had come. It was really scary, but it was over in such a short time.
Evidence of the destruction is everywhere you look. At what used to be the home of Martha Trusty, her pickup truck was thrown 50 feet. Her TV tossed into the yard. Amazingly, she survived. Her brother is counting his blessings.
We are pretty doggone fortunate here because some of the people that this tornado went through weren't so fortunate.
Late today, another twister struck, this one further north near the Virginia-North Carolina border. The tornado flattened the town of Stoneville. At least 2 people are dead, 21 have been injured. A dramatic collapse today in California as this house crumbles off a hillside. Saturated hillsides and coastal bluffs have been collapsing throughout the state thanks to fierce El Nino storms. The mayor of Laguna Niguel says it's too early to send demolition crews to the site of the collapse. A complicated case of death and false identity in Lehigh County tonight. Elizabeth Rousey was found dead at the McIntosh Inn in Hanover Township. She had stayed at the motel for several days with her husband, whom she had always known to be named Richard Rousey. But his real name might be Logan Rousey, Richard's his brother.
And the history is such that Logan has passed himself off as Richard in the past, and it appears as though the relationship between Richard and Logan is certainly a strained one.
Right now, Logan Rousey is wanted on misdemeanor charges and for questioning about his wife's death. Residents of Bridgeton, Cumberland County are on alert tonight after a home invasion and murder. 53-year-old Gloria Jean Bagilio was found dead yesterday. Her home on Kenyon Avenue had been ransacked. Police say Bagilio had been strangled.
Usually when someone, if you're murdered, it's by someone you know. This is probably someone she didn't know. And we're concerned about that because what we're most concerned about is it could happen again.
Bridgeton residents are being urged to take extra precautions to keep their homes well lit and to look out for any suspicious people. And police tonight are looking for the killer of a West Philadelphia man. They say the man lived at this house on the 4200 block of Westminster Street. One of his roommates came home and found him dead in the basement. Police would not say how the 31-year-old man died. A rescue in Burlington County rescuers have found the body of a robbery suspect in the Rancocas Creek. The body is identified as 19-year-old Aaron Banks of Delran. He and another man were wanted last night for stealing a car. When police caught up with them on Washington Street, the two jumped out of the car and ran into the creek. Police caught the other suspect, 19-year-old James Mobley of Mount Holly, and arrested him. Police have made an arrest in yesterday's shooting death of a 14-year-old Germantown girl. The suspect is 13 years old. LaToya Brown was standing in front of what neighbors say is a drug house. Police say Brown had just left the house when she was struck in the head by the bullet. The 13-year-old, along with his parents, turned himself in this afternoon. He is charged with murder.
Our main focus at this time is the gun. We have not recovered the gun. It's described as a .357 Magnum. It's not been recovered. Our main focus at this point right now is getting that gun off the street.
Police found more than $100 on the victim as well as a small amount of marijuana.
Up we hope! Down we go! Up we hope!
A light rain didn't stop these folks in Frankfort from marching against drugs tonight. Armed with umbrellas and flashlights, they began their march and Kenzie and Takawana streets, hoping to send drug dealers a message of no tolerance in their neighborhood. 1 year ago today, a fatal car crash in Montgomery County took the lives of 7 people. They were remembered in ceremony tonight. Family and friends of the victims planted a tree and flowers and placed a cross at the crash site on Route 422 in Limerick Township. Toxicology reports show the driver that caused the accident had a blood alcohol level more than double the legal limit, and drugs were also found in his car. As it stands at this minute, no strike is expected tomorrow from SEPTA's Transit Workers Union, but a new development tonight has SEPTA management and the city fuming. Jim Sinkovitz is live now at the Wyndham Franklin Plaza with the latest. Jim.
Tony, negotiators met here at the Wyndham Franklin Plaza Hotel for over an hour today, but so far there is still no deal. Those negotiators are expected back at the bargaining table tomorrow at some time. Now, the biggest controversy today was over an AFL-CIO resolution calling on the Democratic National Committee to draft Philadelphia as a possible site for the next Democratic National Convention. The AFL-CIO resolution came at the request of the Transit Workers Union, who claims SEPTA plans to use scabs if the union goes on strike. SEPTA, however, says it never planned to use scabs, only supervisory personnel to keep the trains and the subways rolling. SEPTA's chief negotiator called the resolution a desperate act that would ultimately hurt other unions and businesses who stand to make millions of dollars if a national convention were hosted here.
It's almost a sorrowful anger that you would have an organization that would attempt, unfortunately, I think without any success at all, to hurt southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware by taking a stand like that.
Now, hopefully both sides can come to an agreement without a strike. And Tony, while there hasn't been much progress made this week, they are still talking. SEPTA says it plans to run its system tomorrow as scheduled. That's a story from here right now. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Jim. A tentative sigh of relief for workers at Boeing. The company announced today it will keep its helicopter headquarters in Delaware County, but nearly 1,000 people at the Ridley Township plant will still lose their jobs. Wendy Dockenbaugh reports.
This is a remarkable reversal of fortune.
It certainly doesn't sound like good news, 900 jobs lost. But as Congressman Kurt Weldon so eloquently put it 6 weeks ago, the entire facility was dead meat, and 10,000 people would have been hitting the unemployment line.
That is not the news today. The news today is the Boeing Corporation is keeping Boeing helicopters in as their lead helicopter manufacturer.
It is Delaware County's largest employer. In exchange for keeping the plant here, federal, states, and local officials ponied up tax reductions and lower utility costs.
Sounds good as long as they keep the plant here. Even though we may lose some jobs, it's better than losing everything.
But union leaders remain concerned about the company's long-term commitment.
I think Boeing has an obligation to this community to say we're here for the long haul and what the employment's going to be.
The jobs lost are a result of corporate restructuring. In the wake of last year's merger with McDonnell Douglas, Boeing is moving parts of its operation elsewhere. But in 5 years, when the company begins work on the V-22 Osprey and then the Comanche, officials say there will actually be a net increase in the workforce.
It's good to know that you're going to have a job. We were all a little bit worried, but fortunately, things look like they're going to be fine, and we're very happy.
At least for now, the company will begin announcing who gets cut in the next 60 days. The job losses will continue through the year 2000. In Ridley Township, Wendy Dockenbaugh, WB17 News at 10.
The county sheriff serving a search warrant in Camden found a live grenade. 2 people were taken into custody from the home on Beedman Avenue. The bomb squad was called in. The live grenade was carefully removed from the home and taken away to be detonated at a safe location. No one was injured. Enough is the plea in the Clinton crisis, day 59, and Monica comes to town. Clinton attorney Robert Bennett made a bold strike in the Paula Jones case today, asking a federal court in Little Rock to dismiss the suit, saying it was 700 pages of garbage from unbelievable witnesses.
In today's filing, we are going to use the truth to unravel that web. And the truth is that lawsuit is politically motivated, a politically motivated attack on President Clinton.
The sexual harassment case is set to go to trial in May. It seems being seen on TV news daily has given Monica Lewinsky celebrity status in some circles. The Courier Post says Monica and her attorney visited New Jersey Sunday, where they met with some local cheerleaders headed to the national championships. The cheerleaders say they were impressed.
Once I met her, I got a little more respect for her. She was nice. She didn't have an attitude or anything. She was nice.
Ginsburg has friends there who requested the
Tropospheric undulations every night on Weather Center PM.
In the next half hour, Weather Center PM, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center PM continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.